China's silent collapse. From the gold panic to the lying flat generation. In recent months, the mood inside China has shifted from silent anxiety to visible despair. On one side, the gold market, once the symbol of stability and wealth, is cracking under the weight of new taxes and evaporating consumer trust. On the other, a generation of young people has quietly given up on chasing the illusion of success. They film their minimalist, near-homeless lives in internet cafés and 10-yuan hostels, turning resignation into quiet rebellion. Together, these two stories, collapsing confidence in gold and the rise of the lying flat youth, reveal a single truth. China's economy is not merely slowing, it is losing belief in itself. At the beginning of November, a seemingly minor policy change sent shockwaves through China's gold industry. The Ministry of Finance abruptly announced that non-investment gold would no longer receive full input tax deductions. Overnight, production costs jumped by more than 60 yuan per gram, roughly $8. For ordinary consumers, the announcement meant one thing: gold would become even more expensive. In Shenzhen's famous Shuibei jewelry district, prices surged from 930 yuan per gram to nearly 1,000 in just 3 days. In Beijing, gold jewelry exceeded 1,060 yuan per gram, while top brands such as Chow Tai Fook and Luke Fook were selling at over 1,260 yuan, levels unimaginable only a year ago. Retailers panicked. Many suspended shipments, locked their counters, and shut their doors entirely. Videos from social media showed shuttered storefronts and empty display cases. At these prices, who can afford to buy? One jewelry store clerk said quietly to local reporters. Last year, a young couple could still afford a pair of rings. Now, even the rich hesitate. Hong Kong markets felt the tremor, too. Gold-related stocks plunged. Chow Tai Fook fell 12%, Chow Sang Song 8%, and Luke Fook nearly 10%. Analysts warned that this was not a short-term correction. It was the beginning of a deep contraction. The new policy draws a clear line between investment gold and consumer gold. Investment-grade bars will be taxed first and refunded later, but jewelry will lose most of its input deductions, shrinking margins and crushing small workshops. The government insists this is about rationalizing the market. In truth, it's about control. Beijing has grown uneasy about the flood of savings leaving banks for physical gold. In an economy already weighed down by property collapse and high local debts, the central bank fears a quiet run on the system, 1 gram at a time. The tax reform is a warning shot. Gold may glitter, but the state owns the shine. The immediate fallout was brutal. Chains that had expanded aggressively during the post-pandemic years began retreating. Luke Fook closed more than 900 stores this year. Chow Tai Shen lost over 500. Chow Sang Song quietly pulled out of dozens of mainland cities, especially third and fourth tier ones, where franchisees simply couldn't survive. From a distance, it looks like a normal business cycle. But inside, it feels like suffocation. Franchise owners are stuck with unsellable stock and shrinking margins. One retailer in Suzhou explained, "Every piece of gold we buy ties up tens of thousands of yuan. If the price drops tomorrow, that's my loss, not the brand's. How can we keep going?" Even state-backed companies are not immune. China Gold, the flagship national brand, has faced accusations of selling counterfeit or impure jewelry. Customers on Douyin, Chinese TikTok, have posted test results showing fake content in bracelets purchased from official stores. Some videos have gone viral, triggering brief online outrage, only to vanish hours later, deleted under content sensitivity. In an economy where credibility itself is collapsing, even gold, the last store of value, has become suspect. Then came the shock from the banking sector. On the night of October 29th, millions of users of the Industrial and Commercial Bank of China, ICBC, the country's largest lender, opened their apps to find their account balances mysteriously wiped to zero. Savings, investments, and gold holdings all disappeared from view. Social media exploded. Screenshots of blank banking apps spread across Weibo. "My money is gone," wrote one user from Beijing. "All my funds, all my investments, zero." ICBC quickly issued a statement blaming a system failure. It promised that all funds were safe. But for many, the damage was psychological. If even the universe's first bank could malfunction overnight, what was truly safe? The timing of the incident raised questions. Just as the gold tax reform discouraged citizens from investing in gold, the nation's most trusted bank accidentally erased their digital wealth display. Some analysts quietly speculated that this was a deliberate stress test, a way for authorities to measure public reaction to a financial shock. Whatever the truth, one thing was clear: confidence, once broken, cannot be coded back into a screen. At the same moment that investors were losing faith in gold, another group of Chinese citizens was losing faith in life itself, at least in the version the system demanded of them. They call it lying flat, a quiet rejection of endless competition, property obsession, and the treadmill of 996 corporate life. Instead of chasing jobs, mortgages, and family expectations, these young people film their minimal existence online, living in 10 yuan hotel rooms, eating instant noodles, and spending nights in internet cafés. A video might show a young man waking up in a dim, 600 yuan a month room. "This air conditioner eats too much electricity," he murmurs to the camera. "I'll turn it off once it cools down a bit." Later, he walks to an internet cafe, spends 5 yuan on fried noodles, and plays games until dawn. Another, known as Internet Cafe Girl Xiao Qing, films herself sleeping in city village hostels and reviewing cheap cafes. Her clips show a life stripped to the bone: no savings, no job, no pretense. She calls it freedom. One veteran, homeless for over 2 years, gives survival tips: how to get free coffee refills at McDonald's using discarded cups, or how to sneak into hotels to shower during checkout hours. At first, viewers treated these videos as urban curiosities, raw glimpses of the underclass. But as the economy worsened, they struck a deeper chord. Millions of young Chinese, trapped in unemployment or low-paying gig work, saw reflections of themselves. By late summer, the government had noticed. In August, several lying flat bloggers reported that their Douyin accounts had been permanently banned. Little A Online, one of the most popular, told followers his videos were deleted for violating internet regulations. When he tried to appeal, customer service gave no answer. A week later, he was allowed back, but only partially. All previous content was gone, and he was warned to avoid attracting attention. Others were not so lucky. A vlogger named Mao Chang, known for his slogan, "Dear Capitalists, Hello," disappeared during a live stream in April after plainclothes officers entered his room. He resurfaced a month later with a shaved head, posting carefully worded videos urging viewers to obey the law and love the country. The subtext was clear. Throughout 2025, entire waves of similar accounts vanished. Platforms such as Weibo and Bilibili confirmed that they had closed more than 1,200 accounts accused of spreading negative information. Local governments labeled the content as damaging the city's image. Even creators who didn't discuss politics were targeted. A blogger who filmed cheap rentals across China had his channel renamed from Lying Flat Planner to Anti-Rolling Planner before being banned outright. His offense? Showing that it's possible to live cheaply and survive outside the official narrative of struggle and consumption. To outsiders, it may seem absurd that harmless videos about internet cafes could trigger state censorship. But in modern China, even passivity is political. The Communist Party's economic model depends on constant motion: citizens working, buying homes, taking loans, getting married, and having children. Every link in that chain keeps the system alive. Lying flat breaks it. By refusing to strive, these young people silently reject the national narrative that success equals sacrifice. Their quiet retreat from ambition becomes a form of disobedience, not loud enough to arrest, but visible enough to threaten. Officials call this loss of confidence. But the truth is harsher. It is the loss of illusion. Official data from the National Bureau of Statistics shows that as of August 2025, youth unemployment, ages 16 to 24 excluding students, reached 18.9%, one of the highest in history. Even after adjustments, it remained above 17% for months. Over 12 million college graduates entered the labor market this year, facing shrinking demand and wages. When the dream of a stable job, a mortgage, and a family fades, the only rational response for many is to step aside. The lying flat movement gives that resignation a name and a face. Whether in the glitter of gold markets or the gray rooms of internet cafés, the pattern is the same. The Chinese public is retreating from belief. The government worries not about rebellion, but about apathy. In a country that once worshipped upward mobility, the sight of millions quietly disengaging from careers, consumption, or savings is far more destabilizing than protest. The crackdown on lying flat bloggers is therefore not about protecting morality or order. It is about protecting confidence, the one commodity the state cannot print. Every gold buyer who hesitates, every youth who stops striving, is a data point in an invisible recession of the mind. Beijing's leaders understand this better than anyone. That's why they punish silence as if it were dissent. As one netizen wrote before his post was deleted, they fear not our anger, but our indifference. Because once people stop believing, nothing can be controlled. From the luxury malls of Shanghai to the smoky cafes of Changsha, China's twin crises, economic and spiritual, now move in parallel. The new gold tax reflects a government desperate to curb speculation and redirect savings into state banks. The crackdown on minimalist vloggers reflects a regime desperate to stop citizens from giving up. Both expose the same fear, that control is slipping not through riots or revolts, but through quiet withdrawal. The glitter of gold and the glow of computer screens in dim internet cafes are two sides of one coin, both signs of a society searching for meaning as its grand narrative collapses. The party once promised endless prosperity through hard work. Today, hard work no longer guarantees survival, and prosperity no longer guarantees trust. A young man sitting in a tiny rented room, whispering into his phone camera, says more about modern China than any official statement. He is not protesting, not fighting, just breathing, surviving, documenting. And that, to the system, is the most dangerous act of all. Gold may still glitter under fluorescent lights, and cities may still hum with commerce. But beneath the surface, the foundation is cracking. When wealth disappears from phone screens, when youth vanish from the workforce, and when truth itself must hide in a live stream, it no longer matters whether the numbers look good. The collapse is not in GDP. It's in faith, the belief that tomorrow will be better than today. And once that belief is gone, even 1,000 tons of gold can't buy it back.